Welcome back to Dukascopy TV. Credit volumes are not yet showing the effect of the improvement in banks' funding conditions, and the European Central Bank remains committed to keeping interest rates low for as long as necessary. President Mario Draghi said on Monday. Edgar Wolk from Metzler in Frankfurt joins me on the line now. Edgar, can you just outline the main points of Mario Draghi's speech this afternoon?
I think the most important point was that he repeated the sentence that interest rates will remain low or even lower for an extended period of time. This shows that in the thinking of the ECB, nothing much has changed. We have seen some good economic data out of the Eurozone, but still Draghi mentioned that he thinks that the upswing is still in its infancy and that the upswing remains fragile. So the ECB wants to support the upswing with continuation of very low interest rates. He also said that more reforms are needed. I think this was in the direction of France and Italy, which haven't made much progress with structural reforms, because he thinks that competitiveness is very important. The lack of competitiveness, I think, was according to his thinking one of the reasons for the sovereign debt crisis, and so he's really worried about lack of progress in some countries here in the Eurozone.
And was this what we were expecting today?
Especially that he also repeated the sentence with extended period of time, I think was as broadly expected. So we didn't get much of a surprise. And I think when I look back, most of the speeches of Mr. Draghi didn't contain the surprises, were more or less in the press conferences after ECB meetings.
And do you think that this speech was affected by what we heard from the Federal Reserve last week?
I think for him it was very important to repeat that interest rates will remain low, and I think some members of the ECB board also mentioned that there could be another long-term tender soon in the Eurozone to make it very clear that the ECB will under no circumstances move ahead of the Fed. I think now with the decision of the Fed to wait with tapering, it's very clear that the ECB also will not move earlier or will not signal the markets anything that monetary policy could be tightened earlier in the Eurozone than in the United States. So to some extent, I think for the ECB it's very important that the markets understand that monetary policy will remain very, very easy for a very long period of time.
And finally, was there anything else of note said today?
Probably there was nothing to be expected, maybe. I think it's very, very important that he used the sentence extended period of time again, because we have also seen relatively strong PMI data out of the Eurozone today, and yes. Draghi always mentioned the PMIs when he, in the press conference, when he talks about business cycle indicators, and even so we see a strengthening of the upswing. He still thinks that the upswing is too fragile to warrant tightening of monetary policy. I think this is very important.
Okay, Edgar, thanks for that, and thanks for joining me on the line today. And that's all we have time for now, but do check back later for more updates and interviews from the TV team. Bye for now.